Okay, I have 401. On behalf of New Readers Press, I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar. My name is Dan Helms. I'm the National Sales Director at New Readers Press, and we have a panel of experts to talk to you today. During this hour, they're going to discuss an adaptive digital learning solution that is upskilling their adult students while also helping them gain English language proficiency. So whether a student is trying to master English or prepare for citizenship or a career or transitioning to post-secondary education, Voxy EnGen offers the flexibility to meet these goals and more in a mobile-friendly, personalized digital learning platform that includes a synchronous live instruction component. You're going to hear about all of that and more. Presenters are going to share their own student and program success stories, unique implementation strategies, and ways of setting expectations and supporting learners. Today we're going to be hearing from, in this order, I believe, Lisa Lau, who is at Milpitas Adult Education. She's an ESL program specialist there. Frank Gerberman, Frank, I've got your name misspelled on the PowerPoint. I'm so sorry, but he's the director at Advance. Laine is the ESL coordinator at Petaluma Adult School, and Anna Enright is a Google Advisory Board member and a cross-cultural adult ed professional. She's here representing My American Dream. So I'm going to stop sharing so that we can see all of our panelists and turn it over to all of you.
Okay, so should I start, Dan?
Yes, please. There we go.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Okay, first I'd like to share screen with all of you first. All right. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Good. All right. Okay. I appreciate everyone joining us today. My name is Lisa Lau. I'm the ESL program specialist at Milpitas Adult Education in California. I want to share today about how we use Voxy in our distant learning program this school year to meet our students' needs. Okay, we offer the distant learning program to students who can't attend class regularly, such as stay-at-home parents, full-time workers, and new immigrants who have transportation issues to keep learning English from home. We accept students in our distant learning program from beginning, high level to advanced level. So we offer 2 classes with 2 different teachers. We start with orientation, make sure that we go through all the technical need and all the our program objective and policy with all the students, and we get a chance to acquainted with all students. Then we refer the student to meet with the teacher to have the goal setting meeting to get started with. All right, through Voxy, we are able to use personalized lesson plans, to meet individual students' learning goal. We also set a minimum weekly Voxy hour, make sure students, engage and they do their work. And then teacher and student have weekly correspondence, online or through phone call or even like Zoom call. So once a while, student would meet in group on Zoom to stay in touch, and then also provide opportunity for them to speak in English, to interact with other students and also teacher as well. And then at the end, for student evaluation, we use VPA, Voxy Proficiency Assessment, and also CASA reading test to evaluate students periodically to make sure that they are engaged and they get progress. And this school year, is the first time that we use Voxy. And because of the rich of content, the rich Voxy content, that really keeps students engaged, and the retention rate is really high for this school year, even though we are in a really difficult situation, the COVID time. But Voxy really keep students engagement, and the weekly student teacher correspondence enhance the connection with the teacher and the program. So the retention rate is really high this school year. And then also, since a lot of students, they put in a lot of hours, so quite a few students, they increase 2 learning levels this school year. So this is really an amazing result. Okay, so that's all I have for today. Okay. So let me stop sharing.
And I'm just going to go ahead and jump in. I think I saw you saying something, but you looked muted. So I'm Frank Gerberman. I'm the director of an adult education workforce development program in South Lake Tahoe, California. There are certainly worse places to do this work, but I always like to acknowledge the fact that I live in a pretty spectacular place. The nice thing about not going first or last is I don't have to set the stage, and I don't have to just say, yeah, what they all said. So I'm going to focus a little bit on some of the unique aspects of our program that then tie back into Voxy as one of many tools we use. So I hope you'll find it helpful. One thing to know about us is we're really not like more traditional adult education programs, in that we actually focus very little of our resources on instructor capacity. We rely on partners in our community, the K-12 district and the community college, to do that. We really focus on holistic case management and the creation of very personalized pathways plans at the individual student level. And that's, I think, why part of why I'm on this call, and part of why I can talk a little bit about Voxy. As you saw in Lisa's slide, there is that personalization, as there are in many programs. But a few things that really resonate with us here and with our students and clients, I'll touch on. And one of those is, in addition to sort of those self-paced lessons that can be done independently by students on their own or incorporated into instruction, all of which we've helped our college partner ESL programs do, there's also access to group and individual lessons. And I can't speak to the individual lessons, but we do use the group lessons pretty significantly. And again, that idea of personalization. So using some of the assessment opportunities in the program, much like other programs have, we're able to then identify from a very broad list of course offerings, 30-minute course offerings that are actually taught and led by a live instructor. One of the things that they do really well is they engage instructors from around the world, which means 2:30 a.m., 2:30 in the morning in Tahoe, when someone has gotten off a second shift at the casino or is preparing to go in for a third shift, in this 24-hour 7 resort environment, they can often find a class taught by an instructor, 6 to 8 other students in it, that really helps them progress. It really augments and accelerates the learning, even from just that self-paced piece. And I know Lisa mentioned, significant skill gain. We've seen a couple of folks engage in 20, in one case, 24 of these courses on top of their independent learning, and saw a 3-level increase. But for us, it's the context of the content, which allows us to really focus on helping each client and student meet their goal, knowing that we will also meet our institutional goals. So, the CASAS connection is nice if you happen to use that. The NRS requirements, great. Full disclosure, we don't take federal adult ed money, so I can play a little loose with some of the assessment guidelines and really focus on the goal of the student carrying more weight and value in our conversations than my institutional goals or even my reporting goals. And as it turns out, when we do that, when we're able to personalize using great tools, especially ones that include personalized and live in-person instruction support, we know that we'll meet those other goals. The last thing I'll add is we've really been able to develop a partnership with Voxy to the point where here in Tahoe, as you might imagine, if you know the area, skiing and snowboarding in the winter is a big deal. We actually have 14 resorts within 45 minutes of our location. Ski lift maintenance is about to experience a significant retirement crunch, which means all of this institutional knowledge is about to leave. So working with the resort partners here, we have built a ski lift maintenance apprenticeship program. And normally that wouldn't find its way into a discussion of ESL providers. But in this case, it does. And it does because, again, working with Voxy, we were able to provide the content around ski lift maintenance, and they were able to convert that into their lesson platform so that now we have 20 modules for English language learners introducing the concepts and the safety aspects of ski lift maintenance so that we have a way to accelerate access to this apprenticeship program and what really is a significantly high wage paying job in our community for non-native English speakers. So it's personalization, it's live in-person capacity. It really fits our model. It serves a 24-hour community in a way that no single face-to-face program can, unless somehow they've won the lottery and have unlimited funding. And they've really are committed to being a great partner in expanding content. I imagine we'll be doing a very similar step with them later in this year in the fall around a growing forestry restoration program as well. So I think that's all I've got. I've probably taken more than my allotted time, but if you know me, you know that's not unusual. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Frank. And thanks for pointing out the expanding content. I don't think a lot of people realize that new content is added to this platform 5 days a week. It's an incredible amount of content. So I think next up is Laine.
Hi, everybody. I'm coming to you from Petaluma, California, so also Northern California. And Petaluma Adult School is a small traditional adult school, probably more similar to Lisa's program than to Frank's. And we were able to have access to licenses, Voxy licenses, through a pilot partnership program with OTAN. And so we were able to use 22 licenses this past school year. And so basically I offered those to students in our low intermediate ESL and high intermediate ESL classes. And this, rather than a standalone distance learning option, which is what Lisa did, so for our students, it was more of a supplement, right? So for people who really wanted to do more than the homework that was being assigned in the classroom and they wanted more practice available 24 hours a day, that's how we used Voxy. So let me share my screen here. All right, so again, we used it with 22 students in our low intermediate and high intermediate ESL classes. And I would say it was really necessary for me as an instructor. One thing I think that's essential to success with Voxy is for the teacher, the instructor to really demonstrate step by step, sharing your screen if you're on Zoom with people, how to sign up for Voxy, how to navigate the site, where to find different features. Especially with ESL learners, you really just, have to lay it all out. You click here, then you click here, and then you click here. So similar to probably what Lisa did in their orientation, we did something similar with our learners, showing them how to sign up and showing them how to navigate the site. And then actually when I met one-on-one with Courtney, who's also in the panel today, she had suggested that I start incorporating Voxy lessons into my classroom lessons, which was another great idea. And so I would go in and search for content that matched what we were studying in our curricular unit. And then I would pull those lessons and we would do it together in class. Again, I would be screen sharing on Zoom. And so again, that really helps students see how the different types of activities worked. You know, where do you click? Because our students in general are not very savvy with technology. And so it can be a bit overwhelming. So if the teacher really kind of walks them through how these lessons, these different types of lessons work, that gave them a lot more confidence to navigate the site on their own. So we would do a lesson together in class, and then I would also assign that same lesson for homework so they could continue to play around with it. They would kind of get their feet wet that way. And then they would typically jump off into, you know, choosing their own content and doing that whenever they wanted. And another thing that was really helpful, I think, was just for me to recognize during class time who our top users were. You know, oh, the top 3 users this week were Simin and Hamide and Maria. And, you know, Simin did 20 hours this week on Voxy. So yeah, I mean, I had some students who just took it and really ran with it. People who like it, love it. I mean, I feel like no one is indifferent with Voxy. It's like once people get hooked, they're really into it. Now, I did find one big lesson for me was after I stopped, I would say after spring break, our focus really shifted to CASAS testing and some other things. So I was not putting in as many reminders about Voxy, and we did see a bit of a drop off in engagement, not just with Voxy, but you know, our entire program. People started getting jobs after spring break. There was just a lot of movement, so we did have some drop off. But after we did our CASAS testing, we saw that the students who were considered highly engaged, and again, as an instructor, I can go in and see each one of my learners and, you know, how much they're using Voxy. And there's a little button that shows you if they're not engaged or low engaged or highly engaged. For the people who are highly engaged, those students made between 7 and 10-point gains on their CASAS test, which is important to us in that our funding is based on CASAS gains. And for the students, even the ones who were considered low engaged, they averaged a 6-point gain on their CASAS. So, and this was just after using Voxy from February of this year until the beginning of May. So less than 3 months of usage showed these types of gains. So that was really very impressive for us. Like I said, the students love having something that's available to them 24/7, kind of similar to what Frank said. They want to practice at 11:30 on a Thursday night, they can, or 7 a.m. on a Sunday, you know. So, so those are the things that we found, or that I found to be most effective in encouraging learners. And we found that the program really worked.
Thank you, Laine. And one of the things you mentioned was adding Voxy lessons to your in-class lessons. And you mentioned being able to search for those. Maybe when we get to the Q&A, either Courtney or perhaps you could demonstrate how easy it is to search for content in the Voxy platform. So Anna, I hope you're ready. You're next.
I am, and hi from Chicago for a change. There's something about California for literacy. Thank you for connecting today, and thank you for this opportunity. I will be talking about our experience with Voxy EnGen for a year. And let me go back to my slides, slide number 1. Well, in comparison, or the difference I hear right now, I guess in the model, how I decided to build my team. I love teams, and I decided to go this way. I'm sorry, just a second. Get stuck. It happens. Okay, almost there. Here you go. Everybody can see my screen? I hope yes. Okay, so we decided, first of all, this opportunity came up from my participation with Illinois Digital Learning Lab, which was a huge project in the state of Illinois that promoted technology in adult education. And also David Rosen, I think everybody knows David Rosen in pro-literacy and tech world, played a huge role in this as well. So this opportunity came up, and I met with Courtney. Courtney did demo of the platform. I immediately fell in love with the platform. I said, wow, this is a really good product. And after meeting with the founder, I know why. So Dreaming Big, this is the name of our team. And I launched this project last year. So this June 28th, it's going to be a year of this project, and I'm blown away with the results I got. When I started, to be honest, it was like, okay, let's start and see what happens, but it exceeded all the expectations. I decided to go to start low and to go with 10 students, and then gradually the program was growing, people were referring the program, and right now I have 17 students enrolled into my project. And I have ladies, it's a lady team because it's within Right Here Future Institute grant. I have ladies from all around the world, but mostly Japanese ladies. I don't know why, but it happened. Right now, I have 2 students who are on vacation in their native countries in Japan and Mexico. And guess what? It doesn't stop them using Voxy over there as well. They're still engaged. And last night, I pulled some statistics from Voxy Command Center, which is a great tool for a project leader. And I saw this amazing results in numbers. I saw that 99% of my ladies are engaged into the platform. And this breakdown by level, ESL level, was quite interesting for me. I knew they're all different levels, but to see the numbers is always helpful. I have 9 students who are high intermediate ESL level, 5 students who are advanced ESL level, and 3 students who are ESL plus level. Also was very promising to see that 100% of my participants improving or maintaining their proficiency. This is great. Frank mentioned live instruction, and I believe this is one of the unique features within the license that you are getting with Voxy EnGen. And I was just curious how much time they spent at the tutoring session with an instructor from all around the world, like Frank said. And the average they spend is 30 minutes, which is, I think, pretty good length for a private lesson. My biggest ambition throughout this year, decided to build the team. I always was looking for this bond and attachment, and plus coronavirus happened and I enrolled everybody virtually, and that was very challenging. And I really wanted this glue and the team spirit, and my biggest ambition was to have a meeting at least once a month. Well, unfortunately, it never happened. By many reasons, but we had several meetings that were very engaging and successful, as you can see here. I could never collect the entire team because some of them worked different shifts, so they had something going on, but at least we could meet several times and see the faces and meet each other. That was wonderful. On the right, you see one of the participants, Chai. She's from Malaysia. And actually, it's a very interesting story related to Voxy. she was taking a lesson, and that lesson had the article about coronavirus and how to keep your mental health in check and how to fight the fear of coronavirus. And also the article suggested in order to fight the fear, you have to eat the fear. And they suggested the recipe. So this is the recipe. She made the reality. She made a Corona burger. And I hope she ate it, about her fear of coronavirus. And in continuation to this, we're also talking about how to fight speaking English fear because of the accent and all these things. I don't know if she came up with any recipes for that, but we will. Dan mentioned that Voxy EnGen constantly adds material to their platform. And actually, My American Dream started as a podcast. I started this podcast as a result of living My American. I'm so happy to say that we became the part of Voxy EnGen. And you can see one of the lessons with one of the episodes on Voxy platform. The link doesn't bring me here, but believe me, it's there. So when you go to Real Media, you will see the lesson with a podcast, and it's not the entire interview. Voxy EnGen team did a great job. They were listening to the episodes, to the interviews, and they spotted the most interesting moments for that. And they broke it down to a dialogue. The students can listen to this dialogue, and they also can do some activities using the material. And the last thing to mention is testimonies. The lady team did so great that Write Your Future Institute and Lancome approached us with the testimonies to share testimonies on the experience with Voxy EnGen. And we recorded this wonderful testimonies for a month. And this is the result. I think ProLiteracy did a wonderful job with putting this video together. And I just invite you to spend a couple of minutes and listen to what the ladies say. I think they speak the best. Okay, my sound is shared. Hopefully you can hear.
43 million adults in the United States have low literacy skills. 2/3 of them are women. ProLiteracy and Lancome launched the Write Her Future Institute to empower women through literacy. The Write Her Future Institute awards grants for Voxy EnGen licenses to female English language learners. Voxy EnGen is an innovative English solution that can be utilized on any digital device. Within its first year, 20 programs participated in the nationwide Write Her Future Institute.
One day, teacher Anya told me that she is building a team of female leaders for Write Her Future grant by Lancome.
Listen to the stories from the women of the My American Dream program in Chicago.
I moved to Chicago since June 2018.
I moved to Chicago last year.
I came here 2015.
Among immigrants ages 5 and older in 2018, only half were proficient English speakers.
I was not able to say hi, hello even though. It was, how can I explain? It was horrible for me, you know. I was so afraid to get out from house.
I wanted to talk to native person and wanted to be involved in the community, but I didn't know how.
I use Voxy right now when I am reading article, when I'm listening news, when I am texting someone, I'm emailing someone.
That Voxy for me is an addictive.
Voxy, how is the program designed? Help people to organize themselves and keep them focused around this learning process. I would like to impress you, but it's really very good.
Yeah, Voxy is pushing me out to the community.
You don't have limits if you dream.
Learning English broadens my world.
If I'm happy, my family is happy. If my family is happy, the community is happy. Whole the world is happy by this connection between happy people.
Over the course of 3 years, 1,200 women will benefit from the Write Her Future Institute as a result of Lancome and Pro Literacy's partnership.
My name is Chaichengporn.
Kirami Sono.
Padma Patel.
Soledad.
Tatiana.
And I am proud.
And I am proud to be a part of the.
And I am proud to be a part of the Write Her Future Institute.
Visit proliteracy.org/writeherfuture to apply today.
All right. So, when I watch this video, I know how much work they put into this throughout the year. And I want to thank all of you guys for the opportunity, and Courtney, who is closely working with me almost on a daily, very prompt. Any technical issue we have, anything we need, Courtney knows the solution. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And it is always wonderful to hear the actual student voices.
Right.
But there are a few more things. Laine had mentioned that she might be able to show how she searches for Voxy lessons to add to her homework. And Frank had mentioned at one point the forklift class, and I thought maybe we might be able to get Tim to show just a snippet of that. And Courtney, I know, has a promotion that she's going to be able to show you. And then, of course, we'll be open for any questions, and the panel is here and they're ready. Please ask us your questions, and we'll do the best we can to answer everything. So who wants to share first?
Dan, I'm bringing up my command center. So Laine had asked me if I would go ahead and share the lessons feature in the command center.
Please do.
So, I have that.
Way to delegate, Laine.
She's awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and share that feature so we can all take a look at it. Okay, I have shared my screen, and what we're all looking at is the Voxy Command Center. And all administrators now have this feature of lessons. And what Laine was referring to is within the lessons feature, all of these titles are in association to Real Media. So Anna was saying that within the Real Media platform, she has a title that I'm gonna have to go and check out, Anya. I haven't had a chance to see this yet, but all of the titles that are offered in the Voxy student platform, you can see at a nice clear glance in the Voxy instructor platform. This is where all data is housed. And so it's very easy to filter through here by level and see exactly what is offered within the Real Media platform. And so if you look at this lessons activities, all you do is you just add a activity slug at the end of the URL, and it will take your learners directly to that title. So if you wanted to put together a book club by level, you could easily go through and say, well, let's look at these articles. I want to look at a certain level. I can filter through the level up at the bar, and all of the different activities that are in association with those, you just simply add this to the end of the URL. So if you're face-to-face, you can just, write that on a whiteboard. If you're virtual, put it in chat. I know everybody's using this in a different way, but that's a way to kind of streamline lessons and incorporate the Voxy platform to what you're learning in your classroom, regardless of that, if that's virtual or live instruction.
And you can search by keyword too, right?
Yes, you can, and right when you hit into the search feature, different categories are brought up. So yes, anything that you would look in there to search. Anything to add, Laine, that like anything, I'd love to hear what instructors are using for them in classrooms with this feature.
So I was just going to say I did most often search by keyword. So it could be something like celebrations, or it could be something, you know, health, or I mean, really to go with the theme of our unit in our textbook, because again, for us, it was a supplementary practice opportunity outside. So I wanted to make sure that they were finding things that were related to what we were talking about in class. That's the type of thing I would assign. And then of course they were welcome to choose their own lessons that they wanted to pursue on their own as well.
Wonderful. Dan, would you like me to go ahead and direct everyone to our grants and funding? So it kind of is a nice spinoff right after what Anya shared with Write Her Future. And so if anyone's interested, they could.
We want to take a look at that before we go. And we also want to look at the sales promotion that is going on right now, which you said you had up. So sure, you can, since you're sharing right now, you can go ahead.
Sure, let's take a look. So Dan, would you like to take it from here? I brought up the.
Yeah, I'll put this link in chat, but this is.
Okay, beat me to it.
Oh, no, you go ahead. I did.
Okay.
So this is
While you're talking, I'll do that.
This is Pro Literacy's website, and it's under resources, and Courtney's going to put the link in chat. But this is their grants and funding page. And there are a couple of things here that you might be interested in. The one right there that Courtney's pointing at, called the Mobile Learning Fund, is a fund that is available throughout the year, where if your program needs assistance in acquiring digital learning tools, you can apply for funding there. And then the one right below that is the Write Her Future Institute, which you know, Anya had pointed out her organization. And then Courtney has a page up. Maybe it's a flyer or in an email that she's going to show us.
Yes,
that,
I will.
That there's a couple of days left until the end of this month. There's a current ongoing Voxy sales promotion available, and it is a. If she pulls that up, we can't see your screen. Here it comes.
I just did, and it's not fancy.
Yeah.
Pulled up real quick at the last minute.
It's okay, but it's a special offer on Voxy EnGen career pathway programs. For a limited time, you can purchase digital self-study licenses at $100 per seat. That's a 20% savings. So we'll put, there's a promotion code. We'll put that in the chat as well. So thank you, Courtney, for sharing that screen. And Frank, I said forklift, but you know, he's in Lake Tahoe. It's a ski lift that Frank's going to share with us. But he's still on mute. There he goes.
That's a win for everybody the longer I'm on mute. So I'm just very quickly, you know, this will give you an idea of what lessons in general look like. But you'll also be able to see ski lift. And this is something we're pretty proud of. We're pretty confident that this is the first of its kind in the world. Now we can all find a small enough niche to make those claims. We're just unabashed about making it whenever we can. So I won't ask. I will just assume that everyone can see it because we've been in Zoom land for 14 months. I appreciate the thumbs up. Most of the lessons have very similar looks and feel. You can see that I'm actually already enrolled in this course. I haven't finished it, but I'm not going to be a lift maintainer. 20 lessons. If I'm interested in knowing what those are, levels of lift maintenance technicians, and then there are 3 levels of lift maintenance technicians per the National Ski Area Association. We worked with them and a number of resorts across the country to build the content separate from ELL support and Voxy, really to help the industry begin to standardize its approach to lift maintenance expectations, training, and knowledge. And we were able to take what we had created with them, share that with Voxy, and then really focus initially on some of the sort of the overview pieces. We may very well over the next year turn every chapter of the guide. It's about a 180-page document. Turn each of those chapters into additional lessons. Just the fact that they are open, actually enthusiastic and eager to do that partnership work is actually very, very, very cool. If you're really interested in knowing what rope construction or wire rope is all about, please let me know, and I'm happy to spend a little time sharing things that I've learned that I didn't expect to learn. I'm an avid snowboarder, so this is important to me. There's a little self-service in it, but again, we're finding it really beneficial to help get non-native English speakers familiar with the concepts, and we use this in part, again, back to that idea of personalization. We've almost eliminated pre-apprenticeship programs in our program area because we personalize the supports at the individual level. So again, we accelerate access to the pathway to those higher wage jobs. And this partnership and this resource is an example of how we've been able to do this.
Thank you, Frank. And we have a question in Q&A, but first, Laine posted something about citizen in chat, and maybe not everyone saw it. So Laine, would you just sharing what you posted in chat?
Sure. Someone had asked about a U.S. citizenship, that they were looking for information for U.S. citizenship course. So I can just show you that on Voxy there is one course called U.S. Citizenship, Naturalization and Civic Engagement. So there's 4 different units on here. There's a civic engagement unit. There's an overview of how to apply, going through all the forms. I mean, the application is a 20-page form with a lot of technical language. And then there is also another unit that really goes through the different parts of the interview. And within that, there's all these different lessons. So I was just letting people know about that option within Voxy.
Thank you for that. And now the question in Q&A is, can you explain the Real Media? It said read, but it's the Real Media platform. And so yes, absolutely. Courtney's going to share with you what that looks like.
Yes, so Real Media is a fan favorite, and I'm looking through the names of a lot of our attendees, and I recognize many of your names. So hello, everyone. As you always know, reach out with any questions at all, but anybody, and a lot of you have met with me and you hear the same thing, that every time we get to Real Media, I say it is a fan favorite, because when I meet with instructors, and I have had the pleasure of meeting with many of your students, and everyone navigates their way to this page, and they love it. So Real Media is under the catalog tab. This is real, authentic, updated information. As you can see, this first article here 4 hours ago. Most of the time when I get into Real Media, it's 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, constantly updated. Within the Real Media, just like in the Command Center, you can level. So students have the ability to go in here and pick their level and pick their media type and filter through. So if I'm going to filter what I'm going to see that's offered, I can, like, let's just, for example, I'm going to pick a video, and I want to choose a high, beginning, low, intermediate level. And I can go through and see, you know, what is offered to me. So I can also reset my filters, which if you are going to search, it's important to reset your filters so you're not limited to what you're viewing. And so if you look through here, you can see all kinds of different information that is real and current and updated. Oh boy, this is a big one in my hometown. They're everywhere. People have their trees covered. So we can go in, we can look and see this is something that is relevant in our world. We know it's something that's going on.
An adult cicada flies from a clover flower in Washington, Wednesday, May 12th, 2021. An adult,
not just in Washington, and right here I can watch a video. You know, this is like laid back, not intimidating, something fun. I know what's going on in my world, so I'm engaged. and I can go in and I can complete. This is all going towards my total time, right? I can do this on the app, on the go. And let me move the pictures out of the way, choose my word, click the correct image. And there we go. Flower, flower, and I'm matching it. Now that, and then down at the bottom, I have the words, and this is being read aloud. So this is, you know, you can see why this is a favorite. And this is something that I always recommend right after activation. Once you go on and do your needs analysis and Voxy gets to learn, then it's kind of a nice icebreaker to make your way to real media as a student. And so I always encourage instructors to kind of navigate that way, to just kind of take the edge off, learn the platform, and real media is a great way to do that. Was there any other questions as I was talking? I didn't look at the chat.
Let's see, there is a chat question, but I think it's directed at Laine, and it because she mentioned citizenship, and Arlita says, are these lessons at different reading levels? They need to learn English first, but then, you know, with a focus on citizenship.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we have a teacher's playbook that is amazing. And the teacher's playbook has a direct link to all courses and their levels. And so that is something that we can certainly share. That is a good resource to see exactly.
Okay.
Dan, can I add to citizenship piece, because I've been doing it for many years. I was naturalized myself, and I have ladies on my team who are preparing for their citizenship interviews right now as well. And you know, to answer this question, yes, the student has to have some kind of English before he starts using Voxy's section of it. Well, citizenship topic is difficult on the first place. It needs a lot of clarification, right, and guidance. So that's why from my personal experience, I would recommend Voxy citizenship portion as a supplement, or at least student in class or on Zoom, whatever mode you have right now going on for the program, and then slowly start adding Voxy citizenship section, because it can be complicated.
Okay. Now, we're available to answer any other questions. I have no other questions right now. I think we've answered those. But if anyone has anything else to put in chat, please go ahead and do that now while we're all still here. Let's see. Oh, Courtney just mentioned that if you want to see more of the Voxy EnGen platform, she put her email address in there, and you can reach directly out to her and start that and take a look at it, a more complete look at it. Okay, well then I will share my screen, and first definitely want to thank Lisa, Frank, Laine, Anna, and you know, and Courtney, all of you for being on the panel today. Share some contact with information with you. New Readers Press customer service can always be contacted for more information at 800-448-8878 and at this email address, nrp@proliteracy.org. Courtney already put her email address in there, and she's our Voxy EnGen specialist at New Readers Press. And you can go to our website and click on Find a Sales Rep, and your sales representatives for New Readers Press will be glad to talk to you about this solution. And then she's not on the panel, but she is in the in attendance, and that's Lynette. Lynette is the Voxy EnGen Customer Success Manager, and that is her email address there as well. Am I a panelist? Am I overlooking anything? Is there anything else we should add? Okay, well, in that case then, thank you all for attending today. I really appreciate the four of you taking your time and coming on here and sharing your experience. You're using Voxy in four very different ways, and some with citizenship, some with vocational reasons, some just to learn English. And it's still a solution that meets all of your needs. And I just appreciate so much that you shared that with us today.
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity, and nice to meet everybody and to know what you guys doing across the country, and all the attendees. Hopefully you will join the team.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great afternoon.
Have
Thanks,
a great
everyone.
rest of your week. Bye-bye.